Just log on YouTube to give your brain some new food.
Hello people, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time on the channel, a special welcome to you. I ask that you check out the rest of my videos. If you like what you see, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment, but more than anything, I ask that you subscribe to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about getting a Jamaican citizenship, but the hiccup of getting a Jamaican citizenship. Because recently I did a video that was titled How to Become a Jamaican, and I created a system that was initial B.A.N.D, the B.A.N.D system. But I recently learned that there is another initial that's supposed to be added to that, that's called the doubt system. But I'll get into that in a minute. Before I get into today's video, first obviously I have to address the elephant in the room, right? My hat. But I won't address my hat until the end of this video. You guys must be wondering, what's the situation with the hat? You've never seen me done a video in a hat before, but I'll leave that for the end of the video. Secondly, before I start the main subject today, I want to share a fact about the year 2019 that I recently learned. It's a fascinating fact, and I just thought that each one teach one on my channel, so I'm going to share this with my subscribers. So what I learned recently was my birth year, which is 1971, plus my current age, which is 48, equals to 2019. So you guys must be wondering, what's so fascinating about that? Here's what's fascinating about that. If you do this very same thing with your age and your birth year, I guarantee you, you're gonna get 2019. Okay, so on to the main event. The main event is about a problem in becoming a Jamaican citizen. And in reference to my thumbnail, you will notice that there is a British parent, British mother, a Jamaican dad, and a baby that was born. This vlog is in actuality, and it was brought to me by one of my viewer or subscriber by the name of Andrew Harrison. Andrew, big up yourself, and thank you for extending your personal experience to me and giving me the okay to share it on my channel. So Andrew was born in England in the year 1968. His father was born in Jamaica prior to 1962. By the year 1967, Andrew's father had already met and fell in love with his mother, and 1968 Andrew was born. Andrew was born, and as you know, we would assume that he is automatically British Jamaican, and he can choose to live in Britain, which that would be his birth nationality, and in the future, if he like, he could go to Jamaica and he could actually become a Jamaican citizen through descent, like I said in my last video. But Andrew actually had a situation, so I'm going to run the story down to you guys in a minute, so bear with me. I'm going to try to remember the details and try to share everything that I know with you before sharing my 2 cents in it, and I look forward to hearing your 2 cents. After living in the UK for a while, Andrew's father decided to move back to Jamaica to secure family land and build on it. But 2.5 years ago, unfortunately, his father experienced a stroke, and later on it led to dementia. Andrew went out to Jamaica to care for his dad and look after his dad, but the expenses was a burden, so he decided to take him back to the United Kingdom, where it was more affordable to offer health care to his dad, which is understanding and reasonable. But at the same time, Andrew wanted to go back to Jamaica to manage the family land, keeping it in the family, and he also had ambitions to register a few businesses in Jamaica. And in order to do that, he decided that he wanted to officially become a Jamaican citizen, and he started that process in England, in London, at the immigration office. But there was a problem. First problem was because, first of all, when Andrew's father was born in Jamaica, he had one of those birth certificates which most Jamaicans can relate to, that did not have a father's name on it, only had a mother's name, and he was just listed as Harold Harrison. There was no middle name. So he was registered as Harold Harrison, and he also got a Jamaican passport before going to the United Kingdom as Harold Harrison as well. So where the Jamaican side of things is, that sounds smooth. But moving on to present time, when Andrew now wants to become a Jamaican citizen, and he wants to do that on the strength of his father's nationality. The problem is, on Andrew's birth certificate, father is listed as Harold Augustus Harrison. And on the dad's birth certificate and the dad's passport, he's listed only as Harold Harrison. I know a lot of people may say this is an easy fix and this is very simple, but when it comes to legal documents such as birth certificate and passport, this is where legality gets very technical. So if the birth certificate doesn't have a middle name and the passport doesn't have a middle name, but your birth certificate has a father with a middle name on it, the system, whether it be Jamaican system or British system, they do not trust that we're talking about the very same person. And on that grounds, Andrew was denied Jamaican citizenship by descent and was advised that the only way to get around it, considering that the British government is saying it's not a new thing for them, it's not a first time situation that they had to deal with, but they're saying one requirement would be to amend his birth certificate. So you need some legal evidence to prove that in 1968 Harold Harrison and Harold Augustus Harrison was and is the same person until today, and there's not another Harold Harrison that's going to show up and say, I'm his dad and I'm Jamaican, you know? And in order to ace things along, what Andrew did was actually took his situation to the Epsom District Registrar in London to find out about the marriage certificate when mom and dad got married. Because when his parents got married, his father's name on the marriage certificate is registered as Harold Augustus Harrison. So he was trying to find out how did the registrar office ended up putting a middle name on the marriage certificate. Was it word of mouth, or did the father show proof? There was some level of uncertainty, to my understanding, as to why a middle name was entered on the marriage certificate, whether that was shown by evidence or whether by proof. However, if I interpreted the information correctly, in the end, Epsom Registrar Department pretty much says Harold Harrison was what was on the birth certificate. So as you can see, it's complex and it's complicated. So in the end, what Andrew did, he took the issue back to the source, Jamaica. He went to Jamaica, he went to the passport office, and he told them his situation. Apparently, the Jamaican passport office does not have any records on this particular person to when they first issued his passport and what document did they use to add the name into the passport. There's no proof that the Jamaican passport office saw a birth certificate with Harold Augustus Harrison or Harold Harrison. So what I'm saying is maybe they had, this is only maybe the Jamaican government had Harold Augustus Harrison on a birth certificate, and maybe they just put Harold Harrison in the passport. That would be their fault. At the same time, if the birth certificate is indeed Harold Harrison, then Jamaican Passport Office did their job, and I would say the fault lies on the UK Registration Office, where they add Augustus without evidence to the marriage certificate and to Andrew's birth certificate. Anyway, people, I hope that I explained that correctly. In the end, Andrew was told that if his birth certificate is not amended, and if there's no legal proof that can prove that Harold Harrison and Harold Augustus Harrison is the very same person, the only other way that he could attain a Jamaican citizenship is by doubt. And by doubt is a procedure that I was told take up to 2 years, and it involves his DNA and the father's DNA. I want to know what you guys think about this, because personally, what I think about it is like this. First, we have to establish where the fault lies, because obviously there's a fault. and we don't have to get into the B.A.N.D situation. If Jamaican government can prove that Harold Harrison was born and registered as Harold Harrison. So what I mean, Andrew Harrison needs to go to the register department in Jamaica and get a copy of his father's birth certificate. This could be a drawn out process, I know. But once you find the birth certificate for Harold Harrison in Jamaica, if it states Harold Harrison, it means that the passport office, when issuing his passport back then, did their job in Jamaica correctly. If it states Harold Augustus Harrison, then the Jamaican passport office fouled up. However, if the Jamaican side of things was done correctly, then the flaw leaves on the British side of things. So the British would have to compensate Andrew for issuing an errored birth certificate, because if you add Augustus to a name without any real evidence, then it's your fault. However, at the same time, I don't know if in 1968 the registrar office just accept the fact that the mother says this is the father's name and that's what they put down. I don't know. You have to remember that in the 60s compared to now, it was a total different operation. Things worked different back then than now in Jamaica and in the UK. So what I'm trying to say is maintaining my B.A.N.D, which is birth, adoption, naturalized, or by descent. I'm still saying the B.A.N.D does not really have to play a part, because B.A.N.D, I mean, if that is sustained, then every and anybody can become a Jamaican citizen by technicality. You know, people can conjure stories. So what I'm saying, I'm still believing that we should stick to the B.A.N.D, and where Andrew Harrison's situation is concerned, we just have to find where the flaw lies. What is fortunate in this situation is that Harold Harrison was registered. There's a lot of Jamaicans that was born before 1962 that was not registered, that do not know their birth name, do not know their father's name, do not know their mother's name. So we're coming out of a dark age, as most of you guys know. So once again, I'm saying to Andrew that while waiting around for the B.A.N.D procedure to do its thing, what you could do is actually research and find out where does the flaw lies. Somebody has to take responsibility. If that's the Jamaican side of thing, whether it's the birth registration or the passport office, or whether it's England's, whether it's the marriage registration or the registration office that issued your birth certificate. People, let me know if you agree with my view on that. But before I go, let me get on to my hat. Well, this hat, for most of you who are not subscribers to my other channel, which I share with my wife, this hat I actually forced my wife to buy for me as a Christmas gift. And I love the hat so much that she dared me to wear it on the screen as I do my last video for the year, and I wanted to show her how much I love the hat. Look, I'm gonna wear this hat and I'm gonna show it to all my subscribers. Speaking of all my subscribers, this year I have attained 10,000 subscribers, and I want to say thank you to all of you guys, especially my Jamaican and my Caribbean people. Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, Grenada, Bahamas, my Guyanese people, and all my Caribbean community people. Do not feel any way if I didn't mention your countries. Just so much of us out there. I want to say big up to all my subscribers and my viewers. Big up to my Americans that are married to all my Caribbean people, because I do have some of those on the channel. And individually, let me big up some people.
Big up yourself to the maximum.
First, I want to big up Margie I. Phillips. Then I want to big up Donna Gray Passmore. And I want to big up a channel by the name of Ronin Black's Mushroom Cloud. And last but not least, let me big up one of my long-standing subscribers, Lorraine Cotrington. Big up yourself.
Big up yourself to the maximum.
Yeah, people, like I always say on my channel, If you guys want to big up, don't be afraid to put hashtag big up in your comments, and I will know that you want me to give you an individual shout out. At the same time, if you guys miss me on this channel and want to see if I'm still active on YouTube or what I'm going on with in my life, check out my community page where I often post pictures and a small message. Or for more in-depth scenes, you can go to the other channel that I share. Just type Ian and Tina on YouTube and you will see this logo right here, and that's the channel. Or otherwise, just click the link in the description and you can get to me. So that's pretty much it for now, people. I want to wish you guys a happy new year when it comes, and I look forward to be discussing more subjects in the year 2020. Until next time, people, like I always say, I accept thumbs up, thumbs down, agreement and disagreement, because what? Each one teach one. Peace.